Good morning, everybody, and welcome into the locker room with Billy Schweim right here on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app. It's Sunday morning. It's an Eagles Sunday. It's our Eagles pregame show. And we're getting you all pumped up for the Eagles Saints at 1 o'clock to be heard right here on 97.3 ESPN. Mike and Merrill with the call. Now, we already had a little fireworks in here. My brother got all upset. He took off out of the studio, Josh Hennig.
Hey, man, all I know is I walked in, he was leaving, and
he was all
that was
upset,
that.
Right? So you were going to wear your striped shirt, and I guess, he saved you from that.
Well, there's no reason to wear the striped shirt. There's nothing to officiate.
Right. There's no officiating today. Josh Hennig, what's up, man?
How you doing?
So I know you're a college football junkie. You must have really been enjoying yesterday.
Oh, yesterday was nuts. I mean, first of all, can we talk about Ohio State's defense?
What the heck happened there?
I mean, they shut down the best running back in college football after their defense couldn't stop you and me half the year.
Right.
And by the way, the bet of the week covered. That was UCLA -3.5. Woo!
Right. And I got home yesterday. We had made a big fire in a fireplace. My family, which is I'm surrounded by women, 4 women. My mother, my daughter, my stepdaughter, and my wife, but they allowed me to lay in front of the fireplace, watch the UCLA game and the Alabama Arkansas back and forth. Josh, I just love that USC UCLA matchup. It's just the colors, the history, the tradition. It goes way back, and it's just a fun game to watch.
That's the beauty of rivalry games.
Well, it's almost melancholy because when you get to this game, it's the end of the year,
right?
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's the problem. It's the end of the year when the rivalry games. I mean, you got the Iron Bowl next week.
Yeah,
the game Michigan, Ohio State, Michigan. You got all that stuff next week, and then we got to that's conference championship weekend, and then boom,
right now. Josh, last night, before we get into our Eagles pregame show, of course, we got a great show lined up today. Every Sunday during the football season, we hear from 97.3 ESPN.com and Fox 29 News sports anchor Scott Grayson checks in with the latest news and notes for the leading up to the Eagles game. Today, we'll hear from him at 10:15. And then, of course, the fantasy football guru Brian Hartley checks in with his picks for Week 11 in the NFL. And the probability that they have whether you're going to win or not.
Yeah.
In all 3 of my leagues, I'm favored now. I'm up in 2 of them.
Okay.
But that's not reliable.
Nah, you can't trust that because how many times somebody gets injured or somebody has a big game or a big moment, you never know.
Josh, last night the Philadelphia Flyers lost to the Boston Bruins. I was really hoping that this team could get a win and be consistent. In the first period, they fought their way back and then only to lose.
Right.
You know what I saw a lot last night? Stick checks. I mean, they were banging. There's no question. But it just seemed like those little pesky Boston Bruins kept winning the battles.
Well, the other thing is that, one of the things they talked about on the radio broadcast, because I had the radio broadcast on for most of the game, was that, a guy like Pasternak, he's such a volume shooter that he's going to get one in eventually. You know what I mean? Like the guy's constantly firing on net. And no offense to Martin Jones, but a game like that, you have to wonder, should they start at Carter Hart?
No, you know what? I will say this. When it was 2-2, I forget who scored for the Bruins, but that guy Sealer, the defenseman Sealer, it was a 3-on-2. I think Konechny and Lawton got banged off the puck on the side on the boards, right? And then the defenseman just collapsed. It wasn't his fault. It wasn't the goaltender's fault because the defense backed in, and the shot was a rifle shot high over the shoulder, and it came bouncing out of that faster than it went in. The goalie was hung to dry. There was nothing he could do.
Yeah, but there were a couple other plays. I wondered, a couple other goals. I was like,
well, that made it 3-2, Josh.
Yeah, but the 2 goals before that, I kind of wondered, if Carter Hart was in net, would he have saved those?
I don't think that. I don't think the third goal he would have been able to save.
The third one, no, but the first 2, I was just, thinking, wondering, curious.
Look, he made 40. They shot the puck. I mean, they 44 shots. He made 44 saves. I mean,
right.
So I mean, I don't think Carter. I don't know. I just think the defense was really exposed while they were hitting. I like the Flyers were definitely banging the body. McEwen, I love Brassard. He had a pretty goal last night from pass from Claude Giroux. It's just that they just can't seem to get consistent. And I said that in my article on Friday. This team has a problem with consistency.
Well, they do, and
Ellis is out now, so too. I mean, what is it with Provorov? Why does he need an experience? Like, when's it going to be? When's he the guy that's going to be the one that needs somebody else needs to play with? You know what I mean?
Great question. I don't have a good answer for it, but I do have a theory. My working theory is I think Provorov has had so many guys playing next to him that he hasn't really found his way yet.
Yeah, but he's been in the league like this is his what, fourth year?
I want to say fourth.
Josh, I mean, it's about time that he steps up and takes a leadership role, and he be the dominant defenseman.
Maybe he's just not. Maybe it's not in his genetics.
When's he going to be tired of playing Robin?
Maybe he likes being Robin.
Kevin Hayes was out last night. He didn't play.
By the way, I didn't realize this. So this is Provorov's 6th year.
Is it 6 already? I thought it was 5. But
he came up in the 2016-17 season. I didn't realize that.
I mean, he didn't play poorly. It's just that you just need to see a little bit more from him.
Well, the problem is over the ever since the loss of Niskanen 2 years ago, the last 2 years, Provorov just does not look like the same dynamic player. And there are times that you want him to do things, and it's like, you know what it reminds me of? He's starting to turn into what we hated about Voracek.
I would go that far. I would go that far right now.
Hey, he's getting there.
Nah, I hope not. Don't say that. That's the kiss of death.
Well, I'm not gonna lie to you, Bill. I mean, I look at him and he's got the puck on his stick, and he just like passes it. He doesn't have the initiative right now.
Right.
Now, again, if that changes when Ellis is on the ice, I don't know. But if it does,
I just want him to be the alpha dog on the defense.
He just might not be.
All right, the Sixers last night. I stopped watching them. Like, I don't know. I went to bed at 11:30. They were getting walloped. Actually, they made it a lot closer. What was it? 111, 118,
118, 111. Yeah.
So they made it a lot closer. But this team's not. I mean, we still don't have the pieces back, and we're not going to know until they come off this road trip what we have.
Without Joel Embiid, this team is a shell of itself, and that's understand. If you have one of the 10 best players in the league not on the floor, you're gonna struggle at times. Now, look, the Denver win was cool.
That was a big win.
It was a big win, but they also shot lights out, and it seems like for this team, if they're not shooting lights out, they're just not going to win many games unless they have Joel Embiid. I mean, look, Maxey and Tobias both had 28 last night.
Right.
It's not like they weren't doing anything, but you know what? No Danny Green. That didn't help on offense or defense.
No Joel
Embiid. And let's be realistic. I understand that Niang had 3 threes last night, but I'm sorry. If you are in the lineup filling in for a guy like Danny Green, I need more than just a few threes here and there.
I've been impressed with him though, Josh. I mean, he's been playing pretty well.
He's great in limited action.
Right.
But Bill, I think he played 30 some minutes last night.
Well, that's
overexposure.
That's right. All right. So, Josh, I wanted to get the Flyers and Sixers out of the way because today, baby, I'm pumped, man.
Oh, you should be pumped.
Pete Thompson's going to the game, going for PT today. Now, listen, I went to the first 3 Eagles home games. They went 0 for 3. Then Pete starts telling me I'm a jinx, right? So I stay home. He's 0 for 1. Today is a must-win game.
Bill, coming up on the other side, I want to talk to you about why this is a must-win game for one specific person, and it's not Pete Thompson.
Well, you're gonna have to talk to me and Scott Grayson because he's up next. And we have Scott Grayson from Fox 29 News, 97.3 ESPN.com. Of course, you can check him out every Monday with Grayson's Grades on the Sports Bash with Mike Gill, Monday through Friday, on Monday, 97.3 ESPN. I want to remind people The first hour of the Locker Room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers, sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. Surety is an industry-wide leader with a team of experts to help you through the entire process, from contract signing to closing, from the shore to Center City and every place in between. Surety Title is there for you with 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. My Winter Watchdog, this new company, does a great job. Have you heard of New Jersey's premier vacant home management service, My Winter Watchdog? You know those worrisome thoughts that creep into your mind every time you hear of a storm coming and the daunting task of driving down to the shore to check on the house, hours of time on the road. Let My Winter Watchdog be your eyes and ears with their 15-point inspection checklist. They offer a full menu of maintenance and improvement services. Owner Debbie McGonigal and her team of property caretakers are professional, licensed, bonded, and insured. So don't let the winter worry you. They'll give your house that lived-in look. That's My Winter Watchdog. Go to mywinterwatchdog.com or give them a call at 267-202-1869. That's 267-202-1869. Or send her an email, Debbie at mywinterwatchdog.com. All right, when we return, we'll talk with Scott Grayson. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
On with a preview of Sunday Night Football as the Los Angeles Chargers host the Pittsburgh Steelers at SoFi Stadium. Both teams just above the 500 mark. For the Chargers, a loss to the Vikings has them at 5-4, while Pittsburgh comes in 5-3-1 after their tie with the Lions. Join Terrell Davis and me for all the action. Steelers at the Chargers on Sunday Night Football.
Listen to Sunday Night Football on 97.3 ESPN. Coverage begins at 8 p.m.
Ocean City's real estate market is red hot. You need an agent that has the knowledge and expertise to help. Contact Ocean City's top agent, Mark Grimes. Mark has been selling real estate for 30 years in South Jersey. He can answer all your real estate questions and find you the perfect property. He's available anytime on his cell at 609-425-2042. When Philadelphia star athletes are looking for a house at the beach, they contact Mark Grimes, specializing in buying and selling vacation homes, single-family homes, condominiums, and duplexes, residential and commercial, as well as new construction projects or investment opportunities. Mark Grimes, he's your agent at the beach. Give him a call right now, 609-425-2042, or check out his website at grimes.com. Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson & Sons for electrical. They're number one.
And that's when I realized it's called a hamburger, not a handburger, because you carry it with your hand. I was wrong, people. It's like that time I thought I couldn't make the perfect app for football. I was wrong again, people. All I had to do was make a sportsbook app where you can earn season rewards all Sunday long. Nobody is better at veteran things than Caesars.
Must be 21. Gambling problem, New Jersey and Pennsylvania. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, call 1-800-GAMBLER. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Obsessing over every detail means we're confident in offering a 100% quality guarantee. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try with this special offer. Get a Harry's starter set with a 5-blade razor, weighted handle, shave gel, and a travel cover, all for just $3 plus free shipping. Just go to harrys.com and enter 5510 at checkout. That's harrys.com, code 5510. Enjoy.
It takes two vaccines to help protect you this season, the flu and COVID-19. And now you can get both shots at the same visit. Learn more at cdc.gov/vaccines.
You and your phone have been through a lot this past year. It's been your lifeline to the world. And now some big wireless company is telling you got to buy a new phone from them and sign their contract? They don't control you. With TracFone Wireless, you can keep the phone, number, and network you already have. Already got a 5G phone? Keep that too, because TracFone runs on America's best networks now. Starting at just $20. TracFone Wireless. Now you're in control. 5G nationwide access requires a 5G capable device. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
All right, we're back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim. Sunday morning Eagles pregame show, the unofficial pregame show, as we get you started. I know everybody's heading up to be drinking at the Lincoln today. The 4-6 Eagles taking on the Saints at the Link, and every Sunday at this time, we get a chance to talk with 97.3 ESPN.com, Fox 29 News sports anchor, Scott Grayson. So let's go to the Maserati, the mainline sports hotline, and welcome in the man himself, Scott Grayson. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning there, Billy. How you doing? Josh, good to see you too.
Josh is actually filling in today for one Pete Thompson, who's on his way, Scott, to the game today. Now, you know, the first three games, I was considered a jinx, right? I went to the first three games. Pete goes to the last one. He loses. We need to win today, Scott. Scott, if there's ever a game that's a must-win, today's it.
Well, I mean, it depends on what you define as the goal. If the goal is to get to the playoffs, then yeah. I mean, this one really would set the tone, because suddenly they would have the tiebreaker over pretty much every team in front of them. And so therefore today is a huge, you can really win a game and a half today.
Scott, I want to go to the playoffs. I know this team is in a rebuild, and I know, but it's football. It's not like every game you live week to week. I want to win. If you can make the playoffs, let's make the playoffs.
Yeah. Hey, look, I do too. I'm all for. I've been telling Mike every Monday. We have this conversation when I do the grades. Yeah. I'm all for this team getting the playoff experience. These young players need some playoff experience, and quite frankly, all you need is a ticket to the dance. And once you're there, I just want these young guys to get some playoff experience. And if they don't win the first game, I really don't care. I just want these guys to get some playoff experience, see what that environment is like. You're going to have to go play in a tough place, so you're really going to learn a lot. So I'm all for, hey, get in and see what you can do and try to get some of that experience. Look, this team's starting to finally gain some confidence. They actually have an identity on offense, which a month ago we weren't saying. Defensively, I'm still not there yet, but at least there's some signs of a little bit more pressure trying to get put on these quarterbacks. And look, today's an opportunity to go after a young guy and confuse him and try to see, like, look, Gannon could show me something today, and they're missing some weapons. There's a real opportunity to get a game here today for the Eagles. And quite frankly, they haven't won at home since they beat the Saints last year. They're overdue.
And that's another component to this weekend's game is they're 0 for 4 at home. You've got to win at home. You can't be a playoff team without winning at home, in front of your crowd, in front of your fans.
Yeah, and you know, we talk about getting in the playoffs and having to play a road game. Hey, look, okay, you guys have shown me you can win on the road. That's great. But you're right. In order to get there, you're going to have to win these games at home. And quite frankly, they should be favored in just about every game they have left the rest of the way. You know, today at home in front of that crowd, the crowd's going to be jacked up. I think they really need to, you know, this is a must win in my opinion. And I think it's there for the taking. You know, if Alvin Kamara were playing, I'd feel a little bit differently. They're missing some other key players as well. I just think that this game is a real possibility for them to win, and I like their chances.
We're talking with Scott Grayson from Fox 29 News. I can't wait to see you tonight on Sports Sunday after the game, because I want to hear you talking about a win. Let's start on defense today, Scott, because the Saints come in. Now, Josh was here yesterday. He broke it down a little bit more in depth with the defense, but on the surface, we're looking at a number one against the run than Saints defense. They've given up 72.9 yards per game, but Josh said that's a little bit of a mirage because of the games that they've given up the most amount of yards.
Right. Yeah. Scott, I was telling the guys, you know, some of the games they've given up plenty of yards. Taylor Heineke is running on them. Daniel Jones is running on them. An injured Antonio Gibson. They play the Titans without Derrick Henry, right? You know, it's not like they're playing, you know, these great running backs week in and week out. And, you know, the other thing is, Scott, let's be realistic. You know, when Mac Jones throws the ball 50 times or Brady throws the ball 50 times, it's hard to judge a team's run game against them.
Yeah, I think that's a very good point. And you're right. They kind of ran into some teams that are pretty good at running the ball at some good times for them. Derrick Henry, obviously, is a huge guy to not have to try to defend. But and that's the thing. I think the Eagles need to stick with that identity today. I think that's really the path to winning this game. I am very interested to see Miles Sanders and what Sirianni does with him in the game plan. I think you have to go back and he's your lead back. I mean, you don't go to Boston Scott and Jordan Howard and now put Miles Sanders as your third back. To me, that's a mistake. Yeah. I want to see this guy get his carries. I want to see what he's got after being out for this time and how he handles it. I want to see him if he's a little more patient in hitting those holes. Did he learn anything by standing on the sidelines and watching some of these games and how those guys hit the holes? Look, nothing against Boston Scott and Jordan Howard, but Miles Sanders is a home run hitter. You can get to the end zone with him from anywhere on the field. So you can't, leave that bottled up. Now, as far as the Saints defense goes, I think the Eagles have the advantage in terms of trying to run on these guys with the way this offensive line has been playing. And we talked about the Saints being banged up. How frequently, guys, are we saying the Eagles are the better team in terms of injuries? I mean, it's like rarely ever happens. And this is a chance where they got, Goddard was a question mark coming off that concussion last week. He's going to play. Miles Sanders is back, as we talked about. Your offensive line is intact. I mean, you've got guys playing well on that line. That Landon Dickerson, we haven't mentioned his name because he's playing well. That looks like it might have been a great draft pick by Howie, as much as it pains me to say. You got guys getting paid this week. I mean, these guys in the locker room, they are really genuinely happy when they see somebody else get paid, and they want to go out. And these guys, Avonte Maddox now, Dallas Goddard, you got to put your money where your mouth is here now, and you got to go and make that money. And they got to play well. I want to see Dallas Goddard be an integral part of this offense today off that run, and let Devontae Smith show his thing too. If you get Miles Sanders, Dallas Goddard, and Devontae Smith all going today, I don't see how you lose.
Scott, I wanted to follow up what you just said about the Howie Roseman thing, because a lot of times, we hear, how stupid Howie Roseman is, how he sucks and all this stuff. But the reality is that the top 3 picks this year, they're all contributing right now. They just gave extensions to all these guys in the 2018 draft class. So, I think maybe this perception of Howie that he's really horrible is, a little misgiven. Does he make mistakes? Sure he does. Is he great? No, I'm not going to say he's great. But, obviously when you give extensions to almost your entire 2018 draft class and your top 3 picks in this year's draft class are all contributing, and by the way, your second round pick from last year is your starting quarterback this year, maybe there is something to the fact that, maybe this guy doesn't quote unquote suck at life.
Or Scott, like a blind squirrel gets a nut every once in a while.
Listen, I think you're both right. I think, look, drafting is not an exact science. Nobody gets it perfect. The guys who get it right more than they don't are the guys who end up finding success. So did Howie Roseman have a good draft in 2018? Well, it certainly looks that way. The other argument to that is it the right thing to do to sign all these guys to extensions? Dallas Goddard, to me, yes, that's the right thing to do. Avonte Maddox, look, I think he's fitting in well in that nickel role. So if you're going to leave him in that role, then yes, I think that was a good signing. If you're looking to move him back to the outside, I don't think that was the right spot for him. So, was that a good signing in terms of this extension? Remains to be seen to me in terms of how they use him in the years going forward. But Jordan Mailata, huge, great pick. I liked that pick at the time. I really felt like this guy would develop, and he has. I mean, credit to Jeff Stoutland for developing him into the guy he is. And the crazy thing is, guys, he still has a lot to learn, and he'll tell you that. So think about what his ceiling is. Did Howie have a good draft in 2018? Yeah. Let's talk about Derek Barnett. Let's talk about, some of these other picks he's made in recent years. They haven't panned out, and that has been a disappointment. Jalen Reagor, to me. I know it's only his second year, but that's been a disappointment. I'm not really convinced that was a good pick at this point. So I think let's stop. Let's not throw Howie a parade at this point. As far as 2018 goes, I'm willing to say that was a great year. I still don't have the most confidence in the world that he's going to nail 3 first-round picks this year, or what he does with that. But I do think Howie does have his strengths. Drafting is not necessarily one of them in my mind, but I think he can manipulate that salary cap pretty well. And make no mistake, what happened this week was part of doing that to set themselves up to be very active in whatever they decide to do next year.
We're talking with Scott Grayson. You can follow him on Twitter at @SGraysonFox29. And Josh, I just wanted to say also by saying that they took a chance with Dickerson. Remember, he was injured, and that hasn't worked out well for the Eagles over the last couple of years.
No, it hasn't.
Sidney
And,
Jones.
I don't know if they did their homework well or if they just got lucky. Perhaps it was a little of both.
A little bit of both.
It's probably a little of both.
Yeah. But look, I wondered, what are you doing with a second-round pick on a guy who's had this kind of injury history? And look, I'm willing to admit I was wrong. I criticized that pick a little bit at the time, thought they might have been able to do something to help themselves out on defense instead. And frankly, that pick has paid off huge. I mean, without Landon Dickerson right now, what are we doing? Is Mailata playing guard? Is Andre Dillard trying to play guard? They'd certainly have some issues that he has really filled up well. And quite frankly, I mean, I think he's every bit the guy that they said he would be and that you heard about in terms of the draft prospects from the experts at the time. Landon Dickerson's been huge, and I'm willing to tip the cap and say that was a great pick at the time. It was a gamble, and it's paid off at this point.
And we're starting to see, you guys, a little bit of the Eagles now getting a little of an identity. The first 6 games, they were pass happy. The pass run ratio was lopsided.
Bill Sirianni said himself, we're still trying to find our identity. Remember that?
Their identity over the last 3 to 4 games is the run. It's been lopsided the other way.
Yeah, it has been. And credit to them for saying, look, we found something that works. And this offensive line, and I had been saying it, it's so much easier for guys to run block. They come off the line, they shoot off the line, they have their guy. They just need to take him out for a second and a half, and a running back should be through that hole. And give me Lane Johnson, give me Jason Kelsey, give me Jordan Mailata, give me Dickerson, give me all those guys for a second and a half. When you ask them to block for 4 seconds in a passing situation, and you're doing it 40, 50 times a game, 4 or 5 seconds, that's a lot harder. And you're going to get penalties for holding. You're going to get all these things that come from that. So this team has certainly found its identity. They're moving the ball forward. And that's what I want to see from Miles Sanders today. Look, don't dance around in the backfield. A 2-3 yard gain, as you've seen with Jordan Howard and Boston Scott, is all this offense needs right now to at least keep moving forward down the field. And eventually maybe you'll hit one. Those negative plays, those are what they have to avoid. And look, this Saints team, they saw their fair share, and I'm curious to see how they're going to come out and defend them. Miles Sanders and Jalen Hurts both rushed for 100 yards last year in that game here in Philly in Hurts' first start. It was impressive to watch. Now, are the Saints going to go in with a similar game plan? I don't think so. I think they're going to try to make sure that Hurts doesn't beat him with his legs, which is going to put the onus on these running backs and the short passing game to open things up downfield. So that's kind of what I'm looking forward to today. But you mentioned it, the offensive line, these guys have done a great job with the run blocking, and it really has established an identity for this team. As a result, look, the penalties have come down. All the penalties they really get now are mostly on defense. Derek Barnett's still doing his stupid stuff, but for the most part, those penalties have come down, and I think that's been a big part of the reason why this team's been able to score more.
And one other topic we need to discuss is the maturation of Jalen Hurts as your quarterback. I mean, people were like, is this guy your franchise? All the noise. I think they've been handling him right. Let him progress slowly, and he's still technically a rookie. He's not played a full season of games as a starter. I mean, you limit limit his arm, the amount of times he throws the ball. I like the way he's trending, Scott.
Well, really quick, if I could jump in, Scott, and just add this too. The other thing is, and I've said this during the week on my show with Mike Gill, and that is, to me, people are judging this guy as if he's like 3-4 years into his career.
Right.
Like they forget that this guy is 14 games as a starter in the NFL, and it's like, at the end of the day, who would you rather have? Like, look around at Zach Wilson. Look around at these other young quarterbacks.
Josh, he was technically thrown into it. You think when he was drafted, Carson Wentz was here.
Right.
He didn't. Was he prepared to be the starter this quick? I don't think they ever saw that coming.
Yeah, I think the way that you handle this now is it really needs to be a 2-step process. You don't go from here to franchise quarterback. I think the Eagles really need to say, are we willing to give him another year? Because you have these 3 first-round picks that you can do a lot with. And I wouldn't be surprised if Howie tries to spin one of them into a 2023 first-round pick by some way or means to save that ability to still be able to solve this with a veteran quarterback if Jalen Hurts is not the issue. I think you have to ask yourself, has Jalen Hurts earned another year as a starting quarterback? And I'm getting close to saying that. Look, there's some big games down the stretch here. You look at things he's doing that are, advanced. His fourth quarter stats have been really good. When they are down in crunch time and they need a score, he's come down and he's played really well in the fourth quarter. He has done a better job of, I think, staying in the pocket a little longer. You're seeing that now. So you are seeing the signs that, look, behind the scenes, they're working with him. They're telling him and they're pointing out, you need to do more of this. And he's showing that he's coachable in the sense that you're seeing that now within games. Is there still a lot of room to grow? Absolutely. Does he have a lot of things he could do better? Yeah. The things that caught my attention last week were Nick Sirianni talking about after the game, how he would call the same play a couple of times until they got the look they wanted. And Jalen was, before they got the look they wanted, getting out of it to avoid negative plays. And then once they got what they were looking for, he stuck with it and they turned it into some big gains. So you're seeing Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts starting to get on the same page a little bit too. Those things matter to me. You're seeing some side-by-side comparisons too. I've seen some people putting out some stats of what Jalen Hurts has done through, 10, 11 games compared to Carson Wentz in his first 10, 11 games, to some other quarterbacks out there in their first 10, 11 games.
Right.
And they're good quarterbacks. And he's right there with them. So I think you have to stick with Jalen Hurts for another year. I don't know that you necessarily say, listen, we found the franchise quarterback. No, we're not there yet.
Right.
But you've done enough to, and I really mean this. If they keep these 3 first-round picks, at least 2 of them, if not all 3, have got to be on defense.
Yes. I mean, the Eagles right now are ranked 20th against the rush, giving up 117.3 yards a game. We know their problems at linebacker, although Davian Taylor, Josh, he's been playing really well lately. He's given a chance. I mean, you're right. I would use those picks on defense. Look at the Cowboys. Their last 3 first-round picks, the last 3 years in a row, went to their defense.
Yeah, and Micah Parsons and Diggs especially have totally flipped that defense around, along with, you can't overlook the fact that, they have that defensive coordinator now from Atlanta, the Falcons head coach at the time last year. He's really come in and done a great job there as well. But you talk about the defense and Davion Taylor, and I think Alex Singleton has caused me to say, okay, pump the brakes a little bit on Davion Taylor. He to me is following the same trajectory that Singleton had a year ago. We were saying similar things about him. Now, has Singleton had an awful year? No, I wouldn't say he's had an awful year. Has he had a great year? No, he hasn't really met the expectations I thought we'd have. So Davion Taylor just needs to continue doing what he's doing. Hopefully some of the guys around him will also play a little better. Look, the key to me today, stop the run. Without Kamara, that should be a little bit easier to do. I know Mark Ingram is going to run the ball, but if you can shut him down and then you put the ball in Simeon's hands, I think you can win that way.
They're the Saints, 2 offensive tackles, Ramczak and Armstead are both out. So with Kamara out, they should hopefully be able to stuff the run. All right, Grayson, last week you took the Broncos. Actually, out of all the people that made their prediction last week, only our Mike Gill was clairvoyant enough to pick the winner.
Yeah.
He had the Eagles 28-25.
Yeah, I said I couldn't trust the Eagles and pick them until I saw them, until I saw Gannon do a little better job. I just feel like this is their game today. They're favored. They're at home. It's time to win a game at home. I feel like this team is turning a corner. I will pick the Eagles today. And I think, guys, are going to get a big turnover in this game as well. I feel that coming from Simeon as well. Maybe even 2 turnovers today. I like the Eagles to win pretty handily. I'm going 27-14.
Wow, 27-14 for Scott Grayson. All right, Scotty, as always, we really appreciate it. We can watch you tonight on Sports Sunday on Fox 29 News. Of course, we'll catch you tomorrow on the Sports Bash with Mike Gill for Grayson's Grades. You can follow him on 97.3 ESPN.com as well. Scotty, let's go Eagles.
Let's do it. Have a good one, guys.
All right, man. There he is, Scott Grayson on the Maserati, the Mainline Sports Hotline. I want to remind people the first hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers, sellers, real estate agents, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. Surety is an industry-wide leader with a team of experts to help you through the entire process, from contract signing to closing, for the shortest center city and every place in between. Surety Title is there for you. 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. Friends, let me tell you about Maserati the Main Line, located just minutes from downtown Philadelphia. They offer a client-focused car buying experience designed to exceed all expectations and invite you to stop and see the area's largest selection of new Maseratis, including the sporty Ghibli midsize sedan or the class-leading Levante, the only SUV worthy being called a Maserati. Maserati the Main Line also leads the nation in certified pre-owned sales and has the highest quality like new Maseratis available on the market. Your experience does not end at the point of a sale, as Maserati the Main Line offers free pickup and delivery for scheduled service appointments and provides a new Maserati loaner car. So be audacious. Call my good friend Michael Pileggi at Maserati the Main Line today at 484-804-4800. That's 484-804-4800. Or visit them online anytime at motml.com. And I have had a chance, Josh, to sit in a couple of those Maseratis, and I'm telling you, man, if I could get one, I would.
Listen,
beautiful car.
The beautiful thing about a Maserati is that it's arguably one of the most unique things on the road.
It is.
You can't mistake that for anything else. It doesn't look like anything else. It doesn't drive like anything else. It doesn't, like, if you've ever been in a Maserati, there's a difference in how the car feels.
All right, so when we return, we'll continue with more of our Eagles pregame show. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
This is the radio home for Philadelphia Eagles football. It's week 11 of the 2021 season with the Eagles hosting the New Orleans Saints.
Now what do the Saints do?
Hey, well, the Eagles do a nice job of rallying to the football. Now, they understand the importance of this football game.
Pre-game coverage begins later today at noon. Merrill and Mike call all the action starting at 1. This is where the Eagles play. 97.3 ESPN, South Jersey's Eagles station.
Train presents The Unstoppables. Those captains of comfort, those gargantuans of the guarantee. Those satisfaction savants who persevere perilously beyond probability as the raconteurs of reliability. Here's to Train's heralded heroes of heating and air conditioning. Those comfort kings with a tireless tenacity for total turnaround. The Train Comfort Specialists. Just one more reason why it's hard to stop a train.
Hi, this is Joe Lenigan, owner of Lenigan Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Call us today for your free Train system quote at 609-399-1200 or online at ocnjplumber.com. And please don't forget to ask for the military and senior discount.
Call and again and again. Call and again and again.
Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza. Randazzo's Pizza, the pizza you're gonna love. It's got the freshest taste that you'll find any place. Randazzo's Pizza, there's one right nearby. Randazzo's Pizza, Randazzo's Pizza. It's a pizza like you've never had before. Eat it or take it home, no matter where you roam. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find.
Why would you call anyone else besides Randazzo's Pizzeria and Family Restaurant, 34th and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Open year-round, 7 days a week, offering free delivery on the whole island and to the beach. Pizza, pasta, salads, entrees, subs, paninis, and wraps. Voted best of the shore. Call 814-1600. 814-1600.
Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest you'll find.
You and your phone have been through a lot this past year. It's been your lifeline to the world. And now some big wireless company is telling you got to buy a new phone from them and sign their contract? They don't control you. With TracFone Wireless, you can keep the phone, number, and network you already have. Already got a 5G phone? Keep that too. Because TracFone runs on America's best networks now with 5G nationwide. Plus, we've got unlimited talk and text smartphone plans starting at just $20. TracFone Wireless. Now you're in control. 5G nationwide access requires a 5G capable device. Actual availability, coverage, and speed may vary.
That's a no-whip, high-foam, 170-degree, sugar-free gingerbread latte.
Ah, yes. It's gingerbread latte season at Duchesne's Coffee Shop. He'll need a seasonal barista before his cookie starts to crumble.
Anything else? Oh, there's a list.
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. Instant Match instantly connects you with quality candidates whose resumes on Indeed match your sponsored job description. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
'Twas the season of cheer and joy filled the town, except for Scrooge with his perma-frown. The gift of a Peloton bike touched his soul without doubt. When your workout's a joy, it's a joy to work out. This Black Friday, get the original Peloton bike at our best holiday price ever, $1,495. All access membership separate. Terms apply. See website for details.
All right, we're back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim, 97.3 ESPN. Eagles Sunday. Saints PT's going up. We're going to hear from the PT, I think, around 11:30, Josh Hennig.
Got a little Eagles news for you.
Let's hear it.
It looks like your running backs there are going to be Miles Sanders, Jordan Howard, and Boston Scott. Kenneth Gainwell is warming up with the inactive players.
And you know what? That's fine. He's the youngest. He's the little man, youngest guy, right? He's a rookie.
He's a rookie, but guess what else he is? He's also the worst at pass blocking of the four.
All right. Hey, guess what, Josh?
What?
The locker room in Blitz's Market want to discount your Eagles game day meal.
Oh, yeah?
During the Eagles season on game day, get an Italian hoagie for just $5 when you mention the locker room. Get down to Blitz's all season long at 21st and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Blitz's now has online ordering at blitzesmarkets.com or give them a call at 609-399-9983. Blitz's is home of the Dill Pickle Hoagie. It's really a big deal. All right. Hey, Josh. So we're talking a little bit about, you and I are talking a little bit about Jalen Hurts.
Yes.
And he's thrown for over 2,100 yards, 13 touchdowns, only 5 interceptions. Not too shabby of a start.
No. Here's the problem that I have with the people who complain about Hurts. The problem is that people want to judge him compared to other players who are so much further into their career,
right?
Who are so much more advanced than he is as professionals. And unless you're going to want to compare him to somebody who is equitable in terms of where they are in their career or where they were in their career, I feel like there's a judgment made on him that's completely unfair, Bill.
Look, I've been saying all along to show a little patience with this guy. I think he was thrown into a situation that no one saw coming down the line with Carson Wentz blowing up, right? I mean,
sure.
Did anybody anticipate that? Now, he's a professional athlete. He's got to be ready to go. But your mindset going into, like, when he was the year he was drafted, he was preparing himself to be a backup. I'm sure deep down inside he wanted to be the starter. Probably thought he should be, but in the real world, that's not the reality of it.
Right.
So, do you think that? Not that should affect his play or where he is, but I think you should give him the benefit of the doubt.
He should be given the benefit of the doubt for sure. By the way, I mentioned this stat earlier to you off the air, but I'll read it on the air. Only 7 quarterbacks in NFL history have 2,000 passing yards and 500 rushing yards.
Should make that you want to make that a text board question?
Well, I'm just going to read it. Right. After the first 10 games of a season.
Yeah, okay.
Only 7. Jalen Hurts is one of the 7. 2 of the other 7 are Randall Cunningham and Michael Vick.
That's unbelievable. Also
on the list is Lamar Jackson, Robert Griffin III, Russell Wilson, and Kyler Murray. So
that's a pretty exclusive group. Right
that's a very that's a list right there. I mean, there's a list. That's a list. Now, I'm not giving that list to tell you that Jalen Hurts is any of those other guys. I'm giving you that list because for context, people want to act like Jalen Hurts should be something after 14 NFL starts that they would have never laid on somebody else.
I agree. Now, listen, let me ask you another question because let's talk about the coaching staff and Nick Sirianni. I mean, I know that he has never really had the opportunity to call plays as a full-time play caller. What do you make of his handling, like maturation, learning the process and learning how to be a head coach, learning how to be an offensive coordinator? Or calling a signal caller, let's say.
Well, I think he's definitely evolved. I think that there is a clear sign of his growth. I don't think that he's.
Are you all in with him yet? I mean,
I don't know if I'm all in, but I will say this. I mentioned this tease earlier. This game is very important for Nick Sirianni. To me, today's game will determine who he's going to be long term.
Right.
This is a must win for Sirianni.
This is a statement game today.
If you don't win this game, this is a direct reflection on Nick Sirianni, his coaching staff, and the owner of the Eagles, who insisted he wanted this guy over the Super Bowl winning coach, Doug Peterson. Remember,
right?
The owner of the Eagles has now fired the two last men to lead this team to a Super Bowl appearance and the only Super Bowl win. He chose Nick Sirianni over Doug Peterson. Today is the kind of game that justifies Sirianni and the owner hiring him.
I agree with you, Josh Hennig. Absolutely. Right on with that. Eagles, Saints, 1 o'clock. Mike and Merle with the call. I got to tell you, the Eagles have to win at home. I know they're 0-4. Is there a reason for that, Josh? I mean, why can't they win at home?
Well, I think part of it's who they played. I mean, I'm not using that as an excuse, but I'm just saying, well, first of all, they should have won the 49ers game.
They should have.
But Sirianni lost that game. Sirianni, I blame 100% for that game. You don't hold the 49ers at 17 points and still lose. That was pathetic. But the other games, you're playing Tom Brady. You're playing Patrick Mahomes. Those are pretty good players. You're not going to really stop them. They could have won the Chargers game, and they didn't. So to me, two of those losses were kind of out of their control, and they should have won the 49ers game. But guess what? Now is the opportunity for you to make up for that.
The Cowboys are 7-2. They got the Chiefs today. The Eagles are 4-6 with the Saints. I don't want to say the division's all but over for the Cowboys. That they are in pretty good position.
They are.
I mean, let's face it. But I tell you, if the Eagles can get a big win, a statement win today, Josh, they're trending in the right direction. I mean, you look at the schedule down the road. I mean, you're talking Giants, Jets, a bye, Washington, Giants, Washington, and then of course you finish up with Dallas.
Well, the other thing is, don't forget this: if the Eagles win today, that means they hold another tiebreaker. The Saints and the Panthers are both ahead of them in the standings right now. If they win today and they're 5-6, that means that they now hold the key over two teams that are ahead of them in the standings, making it easier for them to potentially get that 7 seed.
Pete Thompson better bring us a win today. That's all I got to say. He's going to the game. He's responsible. The first hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. From the shortest center city and every place in between, Surety Title is there for you. With 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA, that's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900. Just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick. Are you aware of their private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month, they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey to attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and see it's a fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give them a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. Of course, they've got a great holiday event coming up, I believe, on the 7th of December. You want to shoot Ken an email and get involved. There's so many people to meet at these events, these functions. Ken Dunnick does a great job. All right, when we return, we'll wrap up the first hour and get you closer to the Eagles Saints. You're listening to The Locker with Billy Schweim, Josh Hennig, right here on 97.3 ESPN.
97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN free mobile app have you covered on your radio and phones. Starting at 6 a.m. with the new Keyshawn, J. Will, and Max Kellerman show. At 10, it's Greeny with Mike Greenberg, followed by Bard and Hahn at noon. At 2 p.m., it's South Jersey's #1 sports talk show, The Sports Bash with Mike Gill. Take 97.3 ESPN with you everywhere you go with the free mobile app. Download it now in the Apple Store or Google Play.
Hi, this is Louis Capelli Jr., Commissioner Director of Camden County, New Jersey, reminding everyone to get your vaccine shot and booster to help protect yourself, your family, and neighbors. The commissioners recently opened the Camden County COVID-19 Health Hub at the Blackwood campus of Camden County College. This site allows you to get your vaccination and your booster and to vaccinate your whole family. Children over the age of 5 will enjoy our kid-friendly setting to make it comfortable and non-threatening. For updated information on COVID-19 and vaccination efforts, visit CamdenCounty.com. We're all in this together. Let's play our part to stay safe and healthy this winter.
With COVID-19 variants plaguing the nation, we are lucky to have our very own local company, Bioblasting, to provide the community with organic cleaning and disinfecting products. Bioblasting manufactures disinfectant products approved for use against the virus that causes COVID-19 right in Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey. They also offer organic COVID-19 disinfecting services. Their people, pet, and planet-friendly line of products includes disinfectants, sanitizers, hand cleansers, heavy-duty cleaners, and degreasers. Bioblasting wants to replace the use of all toxic chemicals in your home, business, school, municipality, restaurant, and more. The point of disinfecting against the virus is to protect your health, so why use harmful chemicals in the process? Bioblasting offers store pickup, delivery, and shipping to make sure everyone has the disinfecting products they need to keep their families safe. Right now, receive 25% off your purchase online at bioblasting.com or call them at 609-407-1111. Get bioblasted today.
What if you could find gifts inspired by stories instead of stuff? At QVC and HSN, you can. Like perhaps there was this 4-year-old sous chef, Sue to his grandma Maud, who concocted the best cottage pie. And later, when sous chef became master chef, Maud became his first restaurant and the inspiration for the Curtis Stone collection. And imagine the stories a pan from that collection can spark when gifted to just the right chef. QVC and HSN. This is shopping brought to life.
It takes 2 vaccines to help protect you this season, the flu and COVID-19. And now you can get both shots at the same visit. Learn more at cdc.gov/vaccines.
You know when you order a new video game, or a golf club, or a blender, and then it arrives at your door, you get a little thrill. Imagine how much more thrilling it is when you order a new car. With Nissan at home, you can shop for the perfect ride and order it without ever having to go anywhere. Sure beats a golf club or a blender. Buy a new car entirely online with Nissan at home. Delivered direct from dealer to driveway. Thrill starts here. Services may vary at participating dealers, subject to applicable law. See dealer for details.
All right, we're back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim. Eagles Sunday, Eagles Saints. It's a nice day for football, too. A little crisp, not too cold. It's going to be a beautiful day for being to be in attendance at the game today.
It's actually warmer today than it was yesterday.
Yeah, man. I want to talk to you real quick about Devontae Smith before we turn our attention to the defense. But I want to talk about Devontae Smith because we're starting to see signs of the Heisman Trophy winner. I think he's starting to get acclimated, get more comfortable with the speed of the game, with the, just the way the defenses are playing him. He's learning. I think we got a gem there.
I think it's 2 things. One, I think it helps that the quarterback you play with in college is now in the NFL with him. So you have that familiarity between both of them. I don't think that touchdown in Denver happens, that big play, if it wasn't Hurts to Smith.
Right.
The other thing with Smith is you mentioned the speed of the game. For as talented as he is, I think people forget that, a player is only as good as his ability to catch up to what's going on. One of the reasons why Justin Jefferson was so great last year is because he walked into an offense that said, we just traded Stephon Diggs. You're Diggs now. Good luck. You know what I mean? Like they literally put him in a position where he was going to get volume and targets and opportunities. I think Smith came into an offense and said, we don't need you to be the end all be all, but we want you to develop into our number 1 receiver. And I think the fact that the Eagles have been patient with him, and the fact, don't forget, he's not the biggest guy in the world.
No.
He's still growing into that body. He's still to fill out that frame. I think that the best of Devonta Smith is still to come.
42 catches, 603 yards with a nice 14.4 average per catch, Josh. I really like that. 4 TDs. The guy is on the right path, but speaking of the one more thing of statistic about the offense real quick. And I know we're getting ready to get, but the time of possession last week was key, Josh.
Yes.
35 minutes to 25 minutes. Keep the other offense off the field.
It keeps the other offense off the field. And what it does, Bill, is it puts you in a position to be in shorter downs. You're not in 3rd and 9.
I'm feeling good, Josh. I'm feeling good about today.
You should.
All right. Hour 1 is in the books. Hour 2 is ahead of us. In the second hour, we always have the fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley, brought to you by Stella Exteriors. He's checking in. Pete Thompson at the bottom of the hour. He's headed up to the game today. He needs to bring us a win. Come on, PT. Bring us a win.
It's all on Pete.
Eagles. Eagles. Saints, 1 o'clock at the link. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim right here on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app. Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson and Sons for electrical, they're number one.
It takes 2 vaccines to help protect you this season, the flu and COVID-19. And now you can get both shots at the same visit. Learn more at cdc.gov/vaccines.
When you hear this,
They've got him again!
And this,
He scored!
And this.
Oh boy, what a move by Embiid!
You think of us. We are sports. 97.3 ESPN, WENJ, WENJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City, a town square media station.
All right, we are back in the locker room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN. Josh Hennig sitting in today for the PT, who's on his way to the game today. We'll be talking with the fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley, here in a few minutes. And then Pete at the bottom of the hour. Now Josh, Pete Thompson's 0 for 1. I'm 0 for 3. We need to have a big game out of Pete Thompson today. Does he have enough in him?
Bill, I hate to break it to you. I think PT has nothing to do with the outcome of the game today.
Well, they gave me such a hard time about being 0 for 3. I just wanted to make sure that Pete brings the juice and the energy today, because I think the Eagles fans are hungry for a big win.
Well, they're not just hungry for a big win. They're desperate. They haven't seen one at home this year, Bill. Come on.
I know, man. Hey, listen, last week we didn't play the Eagles fly song, okay? We felt it wasn't appropriate because prior to the Denver game. But I'm pumped up again. And yeah, you need that song. The atmosphere in the stadium is electric. When the Eagles score and they sing that song, there's nothing like it, Josh. You haven't been there for that yet, have you?
No, but I'm not worried about that.
No, but you're always working. I get it. But Josh, I'm telling you, it is so cool to be a part of that. Being at the stadium, it's electric. It's indescribable. It's so much fun. I really dig when you sing the Eagles fly song.
Bill, when I watch the fans in the stands from wherever I'm sitting, and I see the Eagles not winning, I feel for them.
Yeah.
Because I feel like the fans, Mike Schmidt said it. He thinks that Philadelphia is the best sports city in the world this week when he gave the award to Bryce Harper. And, I think that if you have the best sports fans in the world, they deserve a home win. And I feel like the Eagles owe their fans a win today.
It's that simple. And you got a Saints team that's banged up. I don't have any sympathy for the Saints. We've been playing banged up.
They have both of their starting tackles out, Armstead and Ramczyk. Their best offensive player out. Kamara.
Don't forget, starting quarterbacks out.
Right. And don't forget, Michael Thomas hasn't played at all this year. So they're without all these players. You must win this game.
Now, Taysom Hill is questionable. We don't know if he's going to – it's probably going to be a quarterback by committee with Trevor Siemian. I don't know who's the starting quarterback. Have they named the starting quarterback?
Well, Siemian's a starter. Okay. The thing with Hill is – I forgot his name for a hot second.
Taysom
Hill, the BYU quarterback, he's one of those players that they use him during the course of a game in those wildcat packages. Yeah. And I think it's because of the fact that they realize that he doesn't really have the goods to be a starting quarterback right now.
Right. I hope you have the ability to realize that the locker room at Blitz's Market want to discount your Eagles game day meal. during the Eagles game today, get down to Blitz's Market and get your Italian hoagie for just $5 when you mention the locker room. Get down to Blitz's all season long at 21st and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City, New Jersey. Talk about inflation busters. They still pack those. I'm telling you, I've talked to people that have gotten these hoagies. They pack them. They're unbelievable.
Yep. Get
down to Blitz's Market. Dave and Joan Newman do a great job. Blitz's now has online ordering at blitzesmarkets.com or give them a call at 609-399-9983. Blitz's is home in a dill pickle hoagie. It's really a big deal. Get down there and get your Eagles pregame show. Now, let's talk a little defense, Josh, because
I love defense.
Because, in the beginning of this year, I was very critical, and a lot of people have, but I've been very critical of the defense of the linebacker position in particular. And, I know Singletary, he's brings energy, and he's got that, I don't know, he celebrates at the wrong time. He leads the team with 77 tackles. But his tackles were all down the field. He couldn't cover. He doesn't stuff the run. So they made a change. They got Davian Taylor in there, and I think he's been playing pretty well.
Listen, man, I think that.
Plus, they changed their coverages too. They've been playing up on guys more.
I might be a little biased when I say this, but I got to interview Davion Taylor after he got drafted a couple years ago, and one of the things he mentioned was about the fact that he hasn't played that much football. He loves football, but because of his mom's religion when he was in high school, he couldn't play a lot of high school football. Colorado took a chance on a guy that had almost no football experience. He became one of the better linebackers in the Pac-12, but he was still raw when the Eagles drafted him. So if you think about it, he's kind of like Joel Embiid in the fact that Joel Embiid barely played any basketball before he got to Kansas, right? And he was the 3rd overall pick. Now, I'm not saying Davion Taylor is going to be one of the best linebackers in the NFL, but I think you're seeing a guy who is just now figuring out football. And with his athleticism and with his physical ability, this might be the best Eagles linebacker they've had in 10 years, Bill.
Well, I don't know if I'd go that far, Josh. I mean,
can you name me a linebacker in the last 10 years?
Well, of course I can name you a few. I mean,
who do you think's better? Who do you think can be better? Davion Taylor's potential or Nigel Bradham at his peak?
Well, Nigel Bradham was a junkyard dog, man. He could stuff the run. I don't think Davion Taylor's going to have that. But the game has changed. He's more of a cover linebacker.
Correct.
Right? I mean, the game has changed a little bit. But I like that old style, punch him in the nose type of linebacker.
Well, that's what TJ Edwards is there for.
And by the way, TJ Edwards, he's started turning a nice little season. He's already got 60 tackles.
By the way, can we talk about a guy who's been a guest on the locker room with Billy Schweim, who's having a very great year on special teams?
Yeah,
how about Sean Bradley from Temple?
We've had him on 3 times.
That dude is making hits on special teams. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he was a cool kid, man. He was just.
I love seeing him light dudes up.
Yeah.
I see him on special teams. He lights a dude up and he runs off the field like he just dominated that dude. I love it.
Listen, it starts up front, but let's talk about the coverage too now, Josh. The quarterbacks, Nelson and big play Slay last week with that return. By the way, did you see the Teddy Bridgewater lack of effort to try to make that tackle?
Hey, Teddy saw Baker Mayfield get injured trying to stop interceptions. He didn't want to be like Baker.
He's got to make an effort though. Make a lookout block, lookout dive or something like something.
Right,
literally that did not look good.
It was really bad.
And did you see his response? He
knew it.
He knew it. But that's embarrassing.
It's bad.
If he would have tried to make a tackle, I think it was it was Maddox was in front of leading the way. He could have laid him out. Maybe.
Well, I mean, I think Maddox. Well, if you remember the play, Maddox looks over to Bridgewater as they're running by, and it's almost like they had an understanding. He's like, "You don't come me, I don't touch you."
But the Eagles defensive backs were playing up. They were playing man coverage.
But that's what they should be.
They were changing it up, Josh.
And this is my problem with Gannon. I've been saying for weeks, Bill. Don't be passive. I hate passive defense. Never let the offense come to you. You, as the defense, have to dictate the terms of engagement. Don't let your cornerbacks be 15 yards off the line.
You know what? It was almost like, how they can in preseason the teams play vanilla because they don't want to. They don't want to. It almost like it appears now, looking back in retrospect, that's what they wanted. They didn't want to show their hand too early in the season. That's what it looks like. That might not be true or not. I'm just saying. That's what it looks like now. Because now they changed their strategy up.
I hope that they stick with it because
I think Nelson and Big Play Slay have the ability to cover one-on-one, right?
Listen, Slay is a top-tier corner in this league. You shouldn't be putting him in a zone coverage where he's 15 yards off the line. That's just stupid to me. And I think now, listen, maybe Gannon is learning, and I hope he is, because this isn't the game where he's going to get tested. This is a game where you can easily win it defensively because of who's on the other side of the field. But down the road, when you start playing other teams again who actually can score points, unlike the Saints today, that's when Gannon's going to have to really show his true teeth.
Maybe some dial-up, some blitzes that can confuse a young Trevor Siemian. I mean, let's face it. You show different looks. You come after a young quarterback, that can create confusion and put doubt in the mind of the skilled players.
I feel like if they do what they did last week defensively, they'll be fine. Then it just comes down to the offense. The offense has to do their job.
All right, the second hour of the locker room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay is an award-winning private golf club where you are greeted by name. It's home of the 3-hour and 58-minute round. You can play on their 18-hole championship golf course, enjoy fine dining, experience lively atmosphere in the pub. There's a full calendar of golf and social events throughout the season to appeal to everyone. They do weddings, they do functions, they do everything there, and they do it well. Radio Ron Ralston has a great staff. For more information on how to become a member, go to greatbay.com or call them at 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day at Great Bay. My Winter Watchdog. Have you heard of this company? New Jersey's premier vacant home management service, My Winter Watchdog. You know those worrisome thoughts that creep into your mind every time you hear of a storm coming and the daunting task of driving down to the shore to check on the house, hours of time on the road. You don't need that. Let My Winter Watchdog be your eyes and ears with their 15-point inspection checklist. They offer a full menu of maintenance and improvement services. Owner Debbie McGonigal and her team of property caretakers are professional, licensed, bonded, and insured. So don't let the winter worry you. They'll give your house that lived-in look. That's My Winter Watchdog. Go to mywinterwatchdog.com or give them a call at 267-202-1869. That's 267-202-1869. Or send Debbie an email, Debbie@mywinterwatchdog.com. And by the way, Debbie, it's her company. She gives that female touch to it, that pay attention to detail. Not a thing, nothing gets by her. My Winter Watchdog, 267-202-1869. When we return, it's the fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim, Eagles pregame show, right here on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
Coming up on the next edition of the Sports Bash with Mike Gill.
Hey, it's Mike Gill. Coming up on Monday, we're recapping the Eagles and the Saints, plus all the Week 11 NFL action. Football at 4 with Jeff Mosher. One thought, every game, Casey Joyner. And we've got 2 more chances to qualify for this year's 99 Bottles party. It's all happening Monday.
The Sports Bash, weekdays from 2 to 6 on 97.3 ESPN, South Jersey's sports leader.
Ocean City's real estate market is red hot. You need an agent that has the knowledge and expertise to help. Contact Ocean City's top agent, Mark Grimes. Mark has been selling real estate for 30 years in South Jersey. He can answer all your real estate questions and find you the perfect property. He's available anytime on his cell at 609-425-2042. When Philadelphia star athletes are looking for a house at the beach, they contact Mark Grimes, specializing in buying and selling vacation homes, single-family homes, condominiums, and duplexes, residential and commercial, as well as new construction projects or investment opportunities. Mark Grimes, he's your agent at the beach. Give him a call right now, 609-425-2042, or check out his website at grimes.com. Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson and Sons for electrical, they're number one.
Hi, This is Al Dyer, Commissioner of Camden County, reminding everyone to get your vaccine shot and booster to help protect yourself, your family, and your neighbors. Camden County and our many partners throughout Camden City are making it easy for you to get your first, second, or your booster shots. That's easy and convenient for you and your family. As the holidays are approaching and more indoor gatherings are being planned, it's important you take that step and protect those around you. For updated information on COVID-19 and vaccination efforts, visit CamdenCounty.com. We're all in this together. Let's all play our part to stay safe and healthy this winter. Thank you.
We're back here in the locker room. Eagles game day. Eagles Saints at the link. I'm surprised my next guest isn't going up there. I'm a little shocked. So now it's time for the fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley, brought to you by Stell Exteriors. They've been providing professional roofing and siding at affordable prices since 1996. Did you know that only 2% of roofing contractors qualify as a GAF Master Elite installer? So if you do the math, choosing Stell Exteriors takes 98% of the worry out. That's Stell Exteriors, 636 West Avenue in Ocean City, New Jersey. Give them a call, 609-399-1010. That's 609-399-1010. Now let's go to the Maserati, the mainline sports hotline, and welcome into the locker room my fantasy football guru and yours, Brian Hartley. Good morning, Guru.
Your guest has 4 kids, is poor, and needs the money for the tickets to be able to buy Christmas presents. All right, that's where
man.
Your check bounced, Billy. Your check bounced to pay me, so I gotta sell my Eagles tickets.
So you should get your boss to why doesn't he just comp you to the games like he does the other 6 people he brings?
My boss has done that 1,000 times. He's a very generous person, and I appreciate that.
He is.
But yeah, no. This
Well, you have your own tickets, right, Guru?
I do. One day we will meet again up there, Billy.
All right, Guru. Can't you feel the momentum? Can't you feel it building?
I can. I also feel 50 degrees today, and I have a nice day to be able to take my kids out there and go do something fun with them today. Listen, I'm probably going to the Washington and the Giants game, and then the Dallas game. We're going to see where that leads us. And at this point, I'll tell you what. It's a couple weeks ago, I would have said that game's worthless and no one's going to be playing. But at this point, that game may be huge.
Yeah, you look at the Cowboys at 7-2 at the Chiefs today. I know the Cowboys have played well last week and blew out the Falcons, but you're playing the Chiefs and you're playing against Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid coach team. It's not as easy as the Cowboys or people might think.
Absolutely. And a couple of weeks ago, I would have said, the Chiefs are vulnerable, and maybe they still are. But after last week, I would not want to play the Chiefs. Mahomes looked unbelievable. They look like they finally hit their stride, and that could be a scary team going forward, which is, I think, where what we kind of eventually all saw was probably going to happen with them. There was no way they were going to finish at the bottom of their division. Eventually, they were going to figure it out. And, hey, lucky for the Eagles, they got to play them today. So we'll see what happens.
Now, fantasy football guru Brian Hartley, you and I happen to have the same exact records. You're in one division, I'm in another division. But we're tied at 4-6, Guru.
Yeah, that's not good. Thanks for announcing that on the air. You're really kind of hurting my reputation here with that announcement.
That's because you're giving me too much advice.
Yeah.
I've been taking your advice, and it's been hurting you.
Listen, I have a million injuries. It's been killing me with injuries and COVID issues, but I got Russell Wilson back now. Clyde Edwards-Helaire is back now. So, I'm hoping I can make that final push here for the playoffs going forward.
Oh, I'm sure you can. All right, now it's time for the fantasy football guru Brian Hartley's picks for Week 11 in the NFL.
So Week 11 of the NFL season, I like Ryan Tannehill going against Houston. Believe it or not, I can't believe I'm saying this, but Cam Newton against the Washington football team. Jimmy Garoppolo against Jacksonville. A.J. Dillon filling in for the injured Aaron Jones going against Minnesota. Myles Gaskin against the New York Jets. Jeff Wilson filling in today for Elijah Mitchell, who is doubtful against Jacksonville. And I like Leonard Fournette on Monday night against the New York Giants. Hopefully they can squeak that game out, too, the way they've been playing not so good with a lot of injuries. But, man, we need Tampa to pull off that big division win there for us against the Giants. DJ Moore against Washington. Brandon Cooks could be the only bright spot today for Houston against Tennessee. They're going to have to throw and score. And I like Michael Gallup today, filling in for the injured Amari Cooper in that offense. I look for him to be the number 2 target. CeeDee Lamb probably going to see a lot of the coverage. So Michael Gallup could have a nice little play today for guys looking against the waiver wire. So those are my picks for Week 11.
Now, fantasy football guru, I guess you were, you wanted, you're a big Denver fan. Looking back to last week, I guess you won either way, right? If the Eagles win, you're happy. If the Cowboys win, you're happy. The Broncos win, you're happy. Thank God the Eagles won.
Yeah, I mean, I just thought Denver at home, they seemed like they were playing a little better lately. But the Eagles have been playing better lately today, as well. I didn't see it as lopsided as it was. I really thought it would be a more competitive game that would kind of come down to the end. But the Eagles look good. And listen, the last couple of weeks is what we were saying the entire first half of the season. Run the ball. Run the ball. They start running the ball more consistently, and they look amazing. So, I don't think it was really that hard to figure out. You have to be more balanced, and now they're doing that, and they're playing competitive football. So they need to stick to that plan and keep it going. And they have some very, very winnable games coming up the second half of the season.
The offensive line is gelling. They seem to be the strength of this team. You win these games. I don't know how many professional players, football players we've talked to that all say these games are won up front in the trenches, and the Eagles' offensive line has been playing it downhill. They come off the ball and they've been winning the battles, and that's important. Of course, you got the running back by committee now. Miles Sanders is activated today. He's probably get the majority of touches, but then Howard and Scott are going to be your second and third options. It looks like the Eagles are in good shape moving forward.
Yeah, I don't care who runs the ball, to be honest with you, as long as you're committed to it. I mean, Jordan Howard's been playing great. Boston Scott's had some great games. Gainwell's had some great games. He's catching the ball out of the backfield. And you throw Sanders in there, who, is an all-pro running back and Pro Bowler at times. The guy's phenomenal. So just be consistent. If you're going to split it up between all the guys, that's fine too. You have a lot of talent there in depth, which is what's kind of helped us when Sanders went down. But just stay committed, and we got guys that can run the ball. There's no doubt about that.
You got to win the time of possession. Josh Hennig and I were talking earlier in the show about the time of possession, and if you can keep that other offense off the field. Now, the Saints are dealing with some injuries, but I don't have any sympathy for the Saints. I mean, we've been playing hurt for the last 2 years.
Yeah, you got that right. We have been hit ever since the Super Bowl with injuries nonstop, and
Guru, even leading up to the Super Bowl with a dog mentality, they had to overcome injury. Remember the next man up mantra?
Yeah, I remember the dog mask. Yeah, it's hey, listen, we've had to deal with it, and I don't feel bad for anybody else, and it's even more so the last few years with COVID. There's been just the exposures and guys getting sick that you just have to have depth in this league. Without depth, you're not going anywhere.
All right, Guru, it's time to make your prediction.
Yeah, so my prediction today is actually I'm taking the Eagles 23-20 over the New Orleans Saints.
23-20. Now, Scott Grayson picked the Eagles 27-14. Tom Jackson of Tom Jackson and Sons Electrical has the Eagles winning 37-20. And the Guru at 23-20, fantasy football guru, as always. Thank you so much. We enjoyed this segment. Let's go, Birds. Happy Thanksgiving to you and yours, and we'll see you next week.
Same to you, Billy. Enjoy that turkey.
All right, there he is, the fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley, on the Maserati the Mainline Sports Hotline, brought to you by Stella Exteriors. They've been providing professional roofing and siding at affordable prices since 1996. Did you know that only 2% of roofing contractors qualify as a GAF Master Elite installer? So if you do the math, choosing Stella Exteriors takes 98% of the worry out. That's Stella Exteriors, 636 West Avenue in Ocean City, New Jersey. Give them a call anytime. 609-399-1010. 609-399-1010. The fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley. I want to remind people, the second hour of the locker room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay is an award-winning private golf club where you are greeted by name. It's home of the 3-hour and 58-minute round. You can play on their 18-hole championship golf course, enjoy fine dining, or experience a lively atmosphere in the pub. There's always a full calendar of golf and social events throughout the season that appeal to everyone. For more information on how to become a member or schedule a wedding, call Radio Ron Ralston. Go online or call Radio Ralston, greatbay.com, 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Summers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day at Great Bay. And once again, Radio Ron Ralston, Ryan Owens down there. They roll out the red carpet. It's a great place to be a member and part of the country club atmosphere. Have you, friends? Let me tell you about Maserati the Mainline. Josh, you enlightened me earlier. You talked about you were a drag racer.
Let's not talk about that on the radio.
All right, but you do like the Maserati because you were telling me. Tell our listening.
Well, listen, it's one of those things where
about the girl.
Well, listen, if you're taking someone out on a date and you have to choose between a Maserati and, I don't know, let's say a BMW, for example, I think the young lady would much prefer to the Maserati because of the styling, because of the texture of the inside interior, because of the ride, because of how it drives, and it just looks good to open the door and her to come out of a Maserati instead of some random German car.
All right, friends, let me tell you about Maserati the Mainline. Located just minutes from downtown Philadelphia, they offer a client-focused car buying experience designed to exceed all expectations and invite you to stop and see the area's largest selection of new Maseratis, including the sporty Ghibli midsize sedan and the class-leading Levante, the only SUV worthy of being called a Maserati. Maserati the Mainline also leads the nation in certified pre-owned sales and has the highest quality like new Maseratis available on the market. Your experience is not end at the point of a sale, as Maserati the Mainline offers free pickup and delivery for scheduled service appointments and provides a new Maserati loaner car. So be audacious. Call my good friend Michael Pileggi at Maserati the Mainline today at 484-804-4800. That's 484-804-4800, or visit them online anytime at motml.com. When we return, we're going to talk with Pete Thompson. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
Ryan Radke from Westwood One with a preview of Sunday Night Football as the Los Angeles Chargers host the Pittsburgh Steelers at SoFi Stadium. Both teams just above the 500 mark. For the Chargers, a loss to the Vikings has them at 5-4, while Pittsburgh comes in 5-3-1 after their tie with the Lions. Join Terrell Davis and me for all the action. Steelers at the Chargers on Sunday Night Football.
Listen to Sunday Night Football on 97.3 ESPN. Coverage begins at 8 p.m.
Train presents The Unstoppables. Those captains of comfort, those gargantuans of the guarantee, those satisfaction savants who persevere perilously beyond probability as the raconteurs of reliability. Here's to Train's heralded heroes of heating and air conditioning, those comfort kings with a tireless tenacity for total turnaround. The Train Comfort Specialists. Just one more reason why it's hard to stop a train.
Hi, this is Joe Lenigan, owner of Lenigan Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Call us today for your free train system quote at 609-399-1200 or online at ocnjplumber.com. And please don't forget to ask for the military and senior discount.
Calling again, again and again. Calling again, again and again.
With COVID-19 variants plaguing the nation, we are lucky to have our very own local company, Bioblasting, to provide the community with organic cleaning and disinfecting products. Bioblasting manufactures disinfectant products approved for use against the virus that causes COVID-19 right in Egg Harbor Township, New Jersey. They also offer organic COVID-19 disinfecting services. Their people, pet, and planet-friendly line of products includes disinfectants, sanitizers, hand cleansers, heavy-duty cleaners, and degreasers. Bioblasting wants to replace the use of all toxic chemicals in your home, business, school, municipality, restaurant, and more. The point of disinfecting against the virus is to protect your health, so why use harmful chemicals in the process? Bioblasting offers store pickup, delivery, and shipping to make sure everyone has the disinfecting products they need to keep their families safe. Right now, receive 25% off your purchase online at bioblasting.com or call them at 609-407-1111. Get bioblasted today.
What's the payments on this new car? Okay, well, what's my trade worth? You know what? I'm going to Matt Black Kia, where I can get some straight talk.
Put zero down. Pay zero interest for 60 months. We're talking real turkey. Bring us any trade, no matter if it's roasted or overdone. Stuck in a loan or lease? Matt Black Kia can get you released. We want to approve you today. Choose from the largest selection of certified pre-owned Kias at mattblackkia.com and drive away in a new Kia with zero down and zero interest for 60 months on every 2022 Kia Stinger, or make no payments until next year.
It's gotta be a Matt Black Kia.
Offers with approved Tier 1 and 2 credit for Kia Motors Finance. Not all will qualify. 0% based on 1667 for 1,000 borrowed. Negative equity finance. Offers no combined. Call 877-289-6670 or go to mattblackkia.nj.com for complete details. Expires 12/3/2021. Matt Black Kia, 6211 Black Horse Pike, Egg Harbor Township. And now on Route 37 in Toms River.
All right, we're back here in the locker room with Billy Schweim on 97.3 ESPN. I want to remind people the locker room at Blitz's Markets want to discount your Eagles game day meal during the Eagles season. On game day, get an Italian hoagie for just $5. When you mention the locker room, go down there and say, hey, the locker room said I get a $5 hoagie. Get down to Blitz's all season long, 21st in Asbury and Ocean City. Blitz's now is online ordering at blitzesmarkets.com or give them a call at 609-399-9983. Blitz's is home of the dill pickle hoagie. It's really a big deal. Josh, the Saints come in here at 5-4, and they've got quarterback problems. They've got some injuries. What about a wounded dog? When you back a wounded dog into the corner, but they're on the road, and I don't know. I think this is a great spot for the Eagles, man. I really do. I think this is they caught the Saints at the right time.
Yes,
they're wounded, and like I said, I don't have any sympathy for them, but I think this is a must-win game, Josh.
It's a must-win game because you're supposed to win this game. I don't think we can sell that enough. You're supposed to win this game. Games you're supposed to win. You got to go out there and get the job done. No excuses, no what ifs, no I don't knows. You have to go out there because guess what? The Saints are without both their starting their right tackle and the left tackle. No Alvin Kamara. They're without their number 3 wide receiver, Ty Montgomery. And by the way, Taysom Hill is going to be the backup today. They just announced that he'll be the backup. But guess what? Now they just made an active another tight end, Juwan Johnson. There's almost nobody playing for them. If you can't win this game, Nick Sirianni, I'm looking at you, bub.
Now, the PT was supposed to call in, but I don't know. Maybe he's MIA.
Well, I tried calling Pete.
He's at a tailgate. He's not. He's tuning us out, I guess.
I guess so. I mean, I guess he's too busy.
Wow, the PT. Usually he's prompt and on time. Maybe he's stuck in a traffic jam.
I mean, I'm assuming Pete's already up there, right?
Right.
I mean, I don't really know Pete's, game day habits verbatim, but I'm assuming he's already up there.
Let's look at the rest of the NFC East today, because the Washington football team is without Chase
Young for the
Chase
entire
Young.
year.
Right. He's done. That's a big blow to the Washington football team.
And it's weird because their defense is already playing poorly anyway.
Right.
So now you lose your best pass rusher. It gets even worse.
By the way, I had an opportunity to interview Chase Young a few years. Was that last year?
I think it was 2 years
2 years ago.
It's 2019, I think.
Seemed like a very nice guy, big, strong dude, lean. For defense, he didn't look like a defense. When I interviewed him, he was at the Maxwell Awards.
Right.
He didn't look like a defensive end. That typical, like that big, thick. He looks more like a basketball player.
Yeah, but you don't need to be thick to play football.
Oh, he's defensive end though.
Your job is to go get the guy off of you and go get the quarterback. That's what makes him a freakish guy. Like a guy whose build is similar, but he's even bigger than him is Kayvon Thibodeau at Oregon. I mean, that guy's all over the place. The problem is that Thibodeau's on a bad football team.
We got the Washington football team 3-6 at Carolina, 5-5, and then of course
Cam Newton starting.
Cam Newton. How about the guru picking Newton?
Newton is becoming a trendy pick right now in fantasy football because of the fact that they know that the Panthers are going to let him run. And, Cam keeps saying, I'm back. Well, if he could do anything like he did last week, Panthers might win that game. Don't forget, the Panthers, they are right ahead of the Eagles in the standings right now for that 7th seed.
And the Giants are at Tampa Bay.
They're going to lose.
They're going to lose, but it's a Monday night game. Josh, I want to talk to you a little bit about, and my brother was actually going to talk about this, but I'm sure you can shed some light on it. Have you had a chance to watch Peyton Manning on Monday night?
Oh, I love the Manning cast.
Is that a cool show or what?
I love the Manning cast. It's so much fun. It's entertaining. I love when they bust each other's chops, but I also love how they intermingle actual football talk.
Now, what's the jinx going around?
Everyone who's been on Manning's show, the next week they lose. Their football team loses. It's been that way the entire season without fail.
Isn't that something? Is that like the Sports Illustrated jinx?
It's definitely in the category. I mean, Sports Illustrated jinx, Madden curse, Manning jinx. They're all the same to me.
A really insightful broadcast. 2 quarterbacks. I think it's such a cool concept. And you know what? Boy, Peyton, Eli Manning really has. It just goes to show you really don't know. You can't judge the book by the cover. When he puts that helmet on and he looks kind of silly. He looks kind of duh. Right?
Yeah.
But on TV, he comes across as very entertaining. I think it's pretty cool. He comes across as that's not his persona on TV. His persona as a quarterback is like he doesn't want to get hit. He doesn't know what's going on. He's got that deer in the headlights look. But on his TV show, he looks pretty good.
Eli is underrated for his football intelligence. And I think the entire Manning family, people forget how smart they are. And by the way,
there's another one coming up in the works too, right?
Well, Arch is the Cooper's son, I believe.
Right.
And
he's like the number one.
He's the number one recruit on the planet right now. So a lot of teams are vying for him. By the way, there's a connection between the Eagles and the Manning family.
And that is?
Archie Manning, Peyton and Eli's father, has been mentoring and working with Jalen Hurts.
Is that right? I did not know that.
That just came out recently.
Is that right?
Yeah, there was a big interview on, I think it was NJ.com about it. But, Arch Manning has been working and talking with Jalen Hurts and talked about how, how he's grown as a person and as a player and how proud they are of him.
That's good lineage, quarterback lineage right there.
Well, remember, Archie Manning was one of the greatest college quarterbacks.
Yeah.
He went to
He didn't win the
New
Heisman.
Orleans.
He did not. He got snubbed for the Heisman.
He got snubbed for the Heisman, correct. He should have won the Heisman. And don't forget, Eli should have won the Heisman too, but that went to Jason White, for goodness sake.
Yeah, my gosh.
But
hey, Josh, a little miffed at you today. I'm looking, notice no Eagles green. And I know you were going to wear the referee jersey.
Yeah, the whole plan was for me to wear the ref jersey,
right,
so that's why I wore this shirt.
And then Bobby
You know,
has to go off.
well,
and,
you know, if I would have known, I would have worn my main Eagles shirt.
all right.
My Eagles, you know, we're all we got, we all we need shirt.
Okay, all right. So you would have been in your Eagles green then.
Well, it's a black and green shirt.
Okay.
You
Well,
know,
that's okay.
Black's my favorite color. So.
By the way, I can't wait till the Kelly Green comes back.
You want to get a couple texts in here?
Yeah, let's get a couple text messages. You haven't even given out the number. We're getting texts. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, 609-403-0973. Dan from EHC chimes in and says, we really need an Eagles win today.
It's big.
The Flyers and Sixers were terrible yesterday. He goes on to say, I think a lot of fans are looking at the Ben Simmons drama and just want him gone, and they need this Eagles win to help with that.
And, you know, we had Mike Carlin in here yesterday and talked about it. It all comes back to Ben Simmons. Every fan, we've been scarred by this whole traumatic thing that we've been putting through with the Ben Simmons thing. And when you have a guy like Bryce Harper win the National League MVP, a bright star in an otherwise dull Philadelphia sports universe, now the Eagles are trending up. We're heading in the right direction. It's a big win. It's a big game today.
Absolutely.
And I'm a little disappointed at the PT.
Well, it's funny.
We got to rip them.
We got Joe texting in. He says, Billy, I believe you're right. A big win. The Birds will be trending in the right direction. Do you realize the Eagles don't have to board a plane the rest of the season? I think PT will help them break the snide today. LOL. Go Birds.
No, I hate to tell you, I don't think Pete has anything to do with it.
Exactly. Well, I just
want to make it seem like that way. But Pete, you know, he's dropping the ball here. Let's hope the Eagles can carry the ball.
Nick from Brigantine chimes in and says, guys, I like the Birds winning 31-17. I think we still have a shot at 10 wins this year.
I want to give Mike Gill a shout out for last week's predictions. Of all the people that predicted, Mike Gill was the only one to take the Eagles last week. And the game balls, he got that right.
Hey, man. Sometimes, what did you say about Howie Roseman earlier? A blind squirrel gets a nut
every once in a while.
No, but Gil's been pretty good at Gil, even when he doesn't get the game right, he gets the game ball right.
Yeah.
So he's been doing that all year long on Friday's show. So
far we have Scott Grayson with the Eagles 27-24. Tom Jackson from Tom Jackson Electrical and Sons chimed in.
For Electrical, the number one?
Yeah, that's right. 37-20. That's a pretty big score.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the guru, fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley, Eagles 23-20. On the other side, Josh Hennig and I will give our predictions. Want to remind people that the second hour of the locker room is brought to you by the Great Bay Country Club, where it's not just golf, it's fun. Make Great Bay Country Club your club. Great Bay is an award-winning private golf club where you are greeted by name. It's home of the 3-hour and 58-minute round. For more information on how to become a member, go to greatbay.com or give them a call at 609-927-5071. 609-927-5071. Great Bay Country Club in Somers Point, New Jersey. See why it's always a great day at Great Bay. And, of course, when you get down there, say hello to Radio Ron Ralston. Just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine, run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick. For you or their private business network they call the Legacy Club. Every month they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey that attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and sees a fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give them a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. All right, when we return, we'll wrap it up. Get you ready for the Eagles Saints with our predictions. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim, Josh Hennig, 97.3 ESPN and the mobile app.
This is the radio home for Philadelphia Eagles football. It's week 11 of the 2021 season with the Eagles hosting the New Orleans Saints.
Now what do the Saints do? Hey, well, the Eagles do a nice job of rallying to the football. Now, they understand the importance of this football game.
Pre-game coverage begins later today at noon. Merrill and Mike call all the action starting at 1. This is where the Eagles play. 97.3 ESPN, South Jersey's Eagles station.
Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson and Sons for electrical, they're number one.
Rendezvous Pizza, Rendezvous Pizza, Rendezvous Pizza, the pizza you're gonna love. It's got the freshest taste that you'll find any place. Rendezvous Pizza, there's one right nearby. Rendezvous Pizza, Rendezvous Pizza. It's a pizza like you've never had before. Eat it or take it home, no matter where you roam. Rendezvous Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Rendezvous Pizza, the tastiest you'll find.
Why would you call anyone else besides Randazzo's Pizzeria and Family Restaurant, 34th and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Open year-round, 7 days a week, offering free delivery on the whole island and to the beach. Pizza, pasta, salads, entrees, subs, paninis, and wraps. Voted best of the shore. Call 814-1600. 814-1600.
Rendezvous Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Rendezvous Pizza, the tastiest you'll find.
If you suspect you have mold in your home, water damage in your basement or crawl space, or a foundation problem, call Perfect Basement. If you're selling your home, address the problems before your buyer discovers them. Perfect Basement provides free, no-pressure inspections for waterproofing, mold remediation, and foundation repair. They're family-owned in South Jersey, licensed and certified, and accredited by the Better Business Bureau. Visit perfectbasement.com and check out their exclusive price guarantee and great reviews. That's perfectbasement.com.
All right, Josh. The PT's on the line. Let's go to the Maserati, the Mainline Sports Hotline, and welcome him in. PT's made his final destination, the Lincoln Financial Field. What's up, PT?
Hey, Billy, sorry about that. I was enjoying the tailgate a little too much, but I am literally sitting in the bus from Silver Linings Playbook. How awesome is that?
Oh, that is pretty cool. That's really cool.
You remember the scene where the bus comes in and I think he says something about the, sensation, and then they realize it's his therapist coming off the bus?
PT, what's the atmosphere up there?
Oh, dude, it is raucous in the parking lots right now. People are excited. Obviously, as Mike Gill and I found out on Friday, both tackles are out. No Alvin Kamara, right? I mean, it's looking really good for the first home win of the season.
And you need to bring us this home win because, I was 0 for 3, you're 0 for 1, but more importantly, the Eagles need a home win, and they've got a beat-up Saints team. This is a perfect spot. This is a must-win, and the Eagles, I think, will win this game today.
I hope so. I said 31-21 is my pick. Eagles, 31-21. Although I'm not sure the Saints actually get to 21 points, but we'll see.
I was telling Billy earlier, I hate to break it to you guys, but you guys have nothing to do with the Eagles winning or losing.
But in our mind, we do, Josh. In our mind, we do.
We're very superstitious, right, PT?
Yeah, Billy, sorry I was a little delayed here on getting on my segment. I was enjoying the sacrament, I guess, a little too much.
That's
my sister, we're celebrating 2 birthdays that just busted out a birthday cake, and my sister turns, well, I'm not going to say her age, but her birthday is the 23rd. Ben, my niece's husband, it's his birthday actually today. So it's a very celebratory mood going in, and we hope it's a celebratory mood coming out.
Well, we hope it is. And Pete, I just want to extend my wishes for a happy Thanksgiving to you. Josh is filling in admirably today in your absence, but we understand why you're there. You're supporting the Eagles. I want you to bring home a win. I'll see you next week, and happy Thanksgiving. We really appreciate it.
All right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate you guys, and go Birds.
Let's go Birds. All right, Josh Hennig, it's that time. I'm going to let you go first. Give me some of your keys to the game today, and then give us a prediction. Now, let's run down. Mike Carlin yesterday also picked the Eagles 27-17. So we're getting some inflated scores, Josh. I think the Eagles, people from Scott Grayson, everything, are going to hang 27-37 points up on the Saints.
Well, here's my perspective. To me, the key of the game comes down to two things. Number one, the Eagles need to keep running the ball. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. It's been working for you the entire time. Doesn't matter if Miles Sanders is back or not. I mean, my assumption is Sirianni's not stupid, and he'll actually go out there and run the ball. So that's my number one key. My number two key is the Eagles' defense has to stay aggressive. Don't let the Saints think they have a chance to win this game. You went to Denver. You won that game in part because of your defense. Don't let off the gas pedal now. You've won 2 of your last 3 games. Get that home win. Those are my two keys. I'm going Eagles 21-17. I think the over-under on the Vegas and New Jersey books are pretty accurate. They have it at 42.5.
Okay.
I think that the odds makers understand it's going to be basically a rock fight, probably. This is going to be a rock'em sock'em robot, and whoever falls first is going to be the loser of this game. And I think the Eagles are just going to have a little more punch behind their fist.
Well, so far, you and the Guru have the score closest. Like I said, there's a big spread between Scott Grayson 27-14. That's a pretty big number. I think the keys for this game today, Josh, turnovers, time of possession, and run the ball.
Mm-hmm.
Turnovers, time of possession, and run the ball. If the Eagles can get a turnover to change, and they need to score first, Josh. I think it's very important that the Eagles score first. And I'm talking about a touchdown, not a field goal. The Eagles need to score first, show that they're, run the ball, win the line of scrimmage. By the way, if they win the toss, I say they get the ball first. I think we should get the ball first and run it down.
I mean, yes and no. I mean, I'm kind of conflicted on that. I don't know if getting the ball first is going to be the end all be all of this game, but I mean, I wouldn't be for or against it. Let's put it that way.
You jump on a team, Josh, that has injuries. I think that's something you need to do. I think it's very important. Gets the crowd into it.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
No penalties. Keep the penalties down to a minimum. Now, Derek Barnett's playing today.
Yes.
He had a neck injury last
He was
week.
questionable with a neck issue.
Okay.
It looks like, the neck issue isn't enough to keep him out of the game. I'm a little disappointed. I would have loved the Eagles to use that as an excuse to bench him for a game, but whatever.
All right. So Dallas Goddard gets a new contract. He's playing his first game with his new deal. Avonte Maddox gets his new contract, and he's playing with a new deal. I think everything's in a line for a big Eagles win today, Josh. And looking at all the scores and the statistics on how many points the Eagles score per game, I'm going to pick the Eagles. All right, Eagles are going to win this game 28-17. 28-17. Now, Tom Jackson says 37-20. Scott Grayson says 27-14. So we're not too far apart. But I think the Eagles win today and move on to the Giants next week.
Well, if you think that's the score, you should bet the over then.
You know what? This week I did not play anything.
Nothing?
No, I just, I got it. Remember, you guys all break my stones about the games that I pick with the sportsbook consigliere on Saturday because of the games that I want to watch, not that I'm going to get a great value to win. I know you're supposed to bet with your head, not your heart, but it gives me juice to watch games. Now, I don't need any extra juice to watch an Eagles game because I'm going to be in a 3-point stance as soon as I get out of here.
Well, I got a random football question for you because we found out earlier in the show that Lamar Jackson's out for the Ravens today. So which backup quarterback is more cringeworthy that's starting today? Is it Tyler Huntley or Tim Boyle, who's starting for the Lions?
Tim Boyle. I've never even heard of him. Tim Boyle? What?
No Jared Goff today. It's Tim Boyle.
I'll tell you what, man. It's pretty bad if you don't know. I don't even recognize his name.
Where Tim Boyle.
Play, Josh, come on, you're a wealthy. You're the college football.
He went to Eastern Kentucky. And Tyler Huntley.
Kentucky.
And Tyler Huntley's went to Utah.
By the way, we real briefly, Gardner Minshew. Now that he's
the backup.
He's the backup quarterback now. Joe Flacco gets his
Flacco's starting for the Jets today. And did you see the reason why? The Jets head coach said, well, the Dolphins run a lot of heavy blitz packages, and we felt that Joe would be better to handle that.
He's a pile-on back there. He's going to get killed.
Sacrificing him to the Dolphins defense. Joe Flacco's probably like, the Eagles traded me to the Jets to be a sacrificial lamb. What am I doing with my life?
Joe, say it ain't so, Joe. All right. Eagles Saints. Eagles pregame show. Official Eagles pregame show. Coming up next, then Mike and Merle with the call for Eagles Saints right here on 97.3 ESPN. Let's hope the Eagles bring back a big win. We need this. It's a must win today. Enjoy the game. I want everybody to have a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy the time with your family and loved ones. And then I'll see you next week. Thanks for making the locker room part of your Sunday, because nothing could be finer than talking sports with the Schweiner. I'll see you next week, everybody. 10 a.m. to noon every Saturday and Sunday right here on 97.3 ESPN and the 97.3 ESPN mobile app. Let's go, Birds!